Good morning, all. Welcome to the class. Okay, so this is New Kings and Kingdoms. In that, we are going to actually, we have read this content from the textbook yesterday. It is about administration in the kingdoms. So, how those kingdoms should be administered? What are all things that king should manage to administer that kingdom very
मला टॉयलेटला लागली.
properly? So, that is what we are going to learn from the PPT. Now we have started to learn about how that kingdom is to be administered by the king. So we learned from that textbook yesterday. To show you the PPTs in a simple words, I am going to show you all the slides. So in the slide it is mentioned to rule a kingdom or to fight a war or to build palaces, forts and temples, roads and other things in a kingdom. What is the main requirement? For all these things to be done, we need money. Correct? How would the ruler make this money? He would make this money or he would collect the money from the people in the form of taxes. I have explained to you the meaning of tax yesterday. Taxes could be taken in the form of money from traders. Traders means who all do businesses, who have all shops, what they sell. So those are all traders who do business. Farmers didn't have that much money. So how would they pay tax? शेतकऱ्यांकडे एवढा पैसा नाहीये. तर ते कसे देणार आहेत हा टॅक्स त्या राजाला? They would pay tax in the form of their farm produce, means whatever is grown in their farm, like wheat, rice, any pulses. In that form, they used to give the tax to the king. Now, what about laborers? They would pay tax in the form of labor. The laborers are very poor people. They do not have money to give it to the king. They do not have the farm produce to give. So what they used to do? They used to work in king's palaces or wherever they say, or the kings, or by the order of king they used to work. So in the form of service, they are giving the tax to the king. So they would pay tax in the form of labor. They would have to do some manual labor as per king's wish, help in building. Who do you think the people in charge of collecting tax would be? आता टॅक्स कोण कोण देणार आहे हे आपण बघितलं, पण टॅक्स कलेक्ट कोण? Collector, that is what is there in modern history, what we are learning now in political science. In those days, in the history, we are talking about history, about 11th and 12th century now. So in that century, who was the authority given to collect the tax? That way, even people who were trying not to pay tax would have to pay the tax, okay, to the king. You can guess that this was an important position to hold in the kingdom. जे कोणाची इम्पॉर्टंट पोझिशन आहे, तर जो कोणी टॅक्स कलेक्ट करणार आहे किंग साठी, that person is having a important position in that kingdom. So once a person got the position, he would keep passing it on in his family. Thus, this position became a hereditary office. So this was the authority given to one family, and in that family, that duty carries on from generation to next generation. So that is their hereditary job, you can say, a traditional job, a family job. Now, many other important offices were this way. The positions were given to people who were close to king. This we have learned yesterday in the content. Means the influential people, the educated people, or the people from the king's family. To those, this duty of collecting taxes was given. Now this content from the textbook on page number 18 till page number 18 we have read already yesterday. So that is all about the administration of that king, and we just administration of that kingdom, and we had just learned about how that kingdom is administered. Okay. Now moving on to the next part of the lesson, that is prashastis and land grants. Okay. Now, what is prashasti means? Prashasti is the Sanskrit word for praise. Means कोणाचं कौतुक करायचंय, कोणाबद्दल चांगले शब्द बोलायचे आहेत. त्याच्याबद्दल आपल्याला जर काही चांगलं लिहून ठेवायचं आहे तर त्या कौतुकाच्या शब्दाला आपण संस्कृतमध्ये प्रशस्ती म्हणतो. Prashastis were poems or stories of praise about the king. Who wrote these? Now, this authority is given to the educated people who know the Sanskrit at that time. So, the scholars of that time, the learned Brahmins, ब्राह्मणांना संस्कृत येत होतं हे आपण बघितलेलं आहे. ते रिच्युअल परफॉर्म करत होते कारण त्यांना संस्कृत भाषेचं चांगलं ज्ञान होतं. तर प्रशस्ती लिहिण्याचं पण काम कोणाला देण्यात आलं तर ते सुद्धा ब्राह्मणांनाच देण्यात आलं. अँड दिस जॉब वॉज ऑफर्ड टू द ब्राह्मण्स. हे ब्राह्मण्सला का काम दिलं होतं कारण दे वेअर वेल वर्स्ड विथ संस्कृत. सो दोज ब्राह्मण्स दे यूज टू राईट अबाउट द किंग in the form of stories or poems, and that we call it as prashastis. Now you got it? Okay. Now, why did they write them? Because the king asked them to. They would get paid well for writing a very nice prashasti. म्हणजे आपण निबंध लिहितो की नाही शाळेत किंवा एखादी गोष्ट लिहिता तुम्ही तर तशी गोष्ट लिहायची होती संस्कृतमध्ये आणि हे काम ब्राह्मणांना दिलं होतं आणि हे किंगने सांगितलं होतं की माझ्याबद्दल पोएम लिहा किंवा माझ्याबद्दल एक स्टोरी लिहा. अँड वेन दे राईट दे वेर पेड वेल मीन्स त्यांना खूप छान पैसे दिले जात होते त्याचे. दे वुड गेट पेड वेल फॉर रायटिंग अ व्हेरी नाईस प्रशस्ती. They wrote in such a way that the king would see like a superhero. म्हणजे किंगला सुपर हिरो बनवण्यात येत होतं त्या स्टोरीत किंवा पोएम मध्ये. अशा प्रकारे ती प्रशस्ती लिहिली जात होती, त्या स्टोरीज लिहिल्या जात होत्या. सो वुड यू बिलीव्ह एव्हरीथिंग राईट रिटन इन अ प्रशस्ती टू बी द ट्रूथ? हे असू शकणार आहे का पॉसिबल की जे प्रशस्तीमध्ये लिहिले आहे तशीच तेव्हा सिच्युएशन असणार आहे? It might not be correct. We are not aware, means we were not present at that time. We are taking the help of whatever is written in the history. So we are referring those books. So from those books only we come to know how brave that king was, how big his kingdom was, how his ruling strategies was. So if the Brahman has made him a superhero in that Prashasti, so we will think that that king might be the superhero only. So this is all we depend upon the Prashasti that was written by the Brahmins, and that is our reference. Now next, who were these Brahmins? हे Brahmins कोण होते? कोणाला ही authority दिली होती? They were considered to be the scholars of the kingdom as they were the most educated group. ओके. आणि मोस्ट एज्युकेटेड म्हणजे त्यावेळेस काय इंजिनियर किंवा MS किंवा MD झालेला अशी काही पोस्ट होती का? तर मोस्ट एज्युकेटेड इन दॅट टाइम वी रेफर टू एज दॅट हु इज वेल वर्स्ड इन संस्कृत, हु नोज ऑल rituals. That people they are referring as most educated group. So that job was given to the most educated group, that is Brahmins. So they helped the king with administration. Many times they got paid or rewarded with land. म्हणजे त्याच्या बदल्यात त्यांना काय मिळत होतं किंग कडनं? मे बी अ गुड अमाउंट ऑफ मनी or maybe in the form of a piece of land, might be a big piece of land. So that was their reward to write Prashasti of that king. Now next, when you buy land, now you have to have registered agreements with the government stamp on them. It was the same even then. आपण आता जेव्हा एखादं घर घेतो आपल्याकडे त्याचं अग्रीमेंट असतं की नाही, आपण कोणाकडनं हे घर घेतलं त्याच्यात त्या घराचे सगळे डिटेल असतात, घराचा नंबर, ऍड्रेस, एरिया, फ्लोअर, पार्किंग एरिया, हे सगळं असतं त्याच्यात मेन्शन. तर पूर्वीच्या काळी अशी सिस्टीम होती का, कॉम्प्युटराइज्ड होतं का, किंवा त्यावेळेस गव्हर्नमेंट म्हणजे कोण होता, तो किंगच होता त्या किंगडमचा. So in those days also there was a different style of maintaining those records or those rewards or the land to whom it was given. So how they used to maintain those records? So this was only at that time the agreement would be recorded on a copper plates with the king seal on them. अशा प्रकारे त्यावेळेस ते ॲग्रीमेंट असायचं, जे आता आपल्याकडे पेपर फॉर्म मध्ये असतं. आपल्याकडे त्याचं ॲग्रीमेंट डॉक्युमेंट असतं. ते डॉक्युमेंट आता आपण ऑनलाईन पण बघू शकतो. आता त्याची सॉफ्ट कॉपी पण असते, आपल्याकडे हार्ड कॉपी असते, पण आता आपल्याला सॉफ्ट कॉपी पण मिळते. पण पूर्वी हे पॉसिबल होतं का? दॅट टाइम टेक्नॉलॉजी वॉज नॉट डेव्हलप, नॉट इवन पेपर वॉज डेव्हलप. सो इट वॉज मेंटेन द रेकॉर्ड ऑफ दॅट लँड in such a way which is shown in the picture. So which part of land, to whom it was given, what was the area, which village he belonged to, what is the name of the owner, all these details were mentioned on these plates. Was it a good thing to get land? It is, yes or no? Yes. Why it is yes? This way, that person can become more powerful, more stronger. He will be more richer. Correct? So he will get reward na, in the form of land. If he is getting land as a reward, he will become a rich person. If the land was in a good area, the person could farm on it and even do animal husbandry. That would give the person a good income. म्हणजे काय फक्त त्याला हे कशावरती सगळं हे बक्षीस मिळालं? तर त्यांनी त्या किंग बद्दल स्टोरीज लिहिल्या, पोएम्स लिहिल्या, अँड इन रिटर्न ऑफ दॅट ही गॉट a piece of land on which he could grow crops. He could rear the animals. He could do the business of selling the products of animal products, also the farm products. So that way he can become a more richer person. Correct? The person could even rent it out to others or let people live there and collect taxes from them. म्हणजे मला ती जमीन नाही वापरायची जी मला बक्षीस म्हणून मिळाली आहे, तर मी काय करू शकते? तर ती मी जमीन कोणाला तरी भाड्याने देणार, आणि मग ज्यांना मी भाड्याने देणार आहे जमीन, त्यांनी ठरवायचं त्या जमिनीवर काय करायचं. So that way he could earn the rent also. If he don't want to grow on his farms, or if he don't want to do animal husbandry on it, there is another way of getting the income. He could rent it out and earn money out of it. So this is all about the prashastis, the reward, and how they use and how they become powerful, why that duty is given to Brahmins. That is all taught in prashastis and land grants. That is why the word land grant is used. Now from the textbook, we have to read from the page number 18 till the page number 20, up till the line and their policies. Now I will be sharing you the textbook. Prashastis contain details that may not be literally true, but they tell us how rulers wanted to depict themselves. Okay, as valiant, victorious warriors, for example. These were composed by learned Brahmanas who occasionally help in the administration. So this we learn in the PPT in the simpler words. Kings often rewarded Brahmanas by grants of land. These were recorded on copper plates, which were given to those who received the land. Have you understood now that content from the textbook? Unusual,
Yes, ma'am.
unusual for the
Yes,
wealth
ma'am.
mystery was a long Sanskrit poem containing the history of kings who ruled over Kashmir. It was composed by an author named Kalhana. He used a variety of sources, including inscriptions, documents, eyewitness accounts, and earlier histories. Unlike the writers of Prashastis, he was often critical about rulers and their policies. Means he is criticizing them about the rulers and their policies. Means he is giving his opinion. Critics means it is not always a negative opinion, it can be in a positive way also. So along with the Prashastis, he was often critical about rulers and their policies. Okay. So here till here from the textbook we have to read. Now again I am switching on to the PPT, the next part of the lesson. Okay, students. Now warfare for wealth. Now warfare means how to manage these wars, how to manage the money needed for war. That all we are going to learn here. Okay. Different dynasties were established in different regions. The strong ones grew in power and also in size. Size means what? Their kingdom size. Grew in power means they are now very powerful in the matter of military power or the money they are owning it or the size of their kingdom. That way they become more powerful and their size is also larger. How did they grow in size? हे आपण 6वी मध्ये पण शिकलो होतो. How did they grow in size? By capturing other territories, isn't it? By capturing and controlling more and more regions. That way they can become more powerful and bigger in size. When that happened, sometimes two or more powers would fight with each other over control of certain overlapping areas. ओव्हरलॅपिंग एरियाज म्हणजे काय? आता आपली महाराष्ट्राची आणि कर्नाटकाची बॉर्डर आहे. तर एक्झॅक्टली बॉर्डरवरती जी काही गावं आहेत किंवा जी शहरं आहेत ती कोणाच्या हद्दीत येतात? ती नक्की महाराष्ट्राच्या येतात का कर्नाटकाच्या येतात? तर त्याला आपण ओव्हरलॅपिंग एरियाज म्हणू शकतो. विच आर ऑन द बॉर्डर ऑफ दॅट. गॉट इट? Overlapping areas. The area around Kanauj in Uttar Pradesh has an interesting history in this regard. Now see the Kanauj. It is marked over here in Uttar Pradesh with a black dot. There is an interesting story about this region. Okay, that story we are going to learn over here. Three dynasties were fighting with each other to control this area in the time from roughly AD 750 to AD 900. You know the meaning of AD, correct? We are learning grade 6. The Gurjara Pratiharas from the west and the Rashtrakutas from the south and the Palas from east. If I show you the map again, means from three sides three different dynasties were claiming this area from west, from south, and from east. This Kanauj was what it was said that three were getting wanted to get a control on that area. Three dynasties, that is Gurjara Pratiharas from the west, the Rashtrakutas from the south, and the Palas from the east. As you can see, Kanauj lies kind on intersection of all three kingdoms. Now it is mentioned in this map. So why that Kanauj is very interesting. See how it is. There is. It is an overlapping. Can you see the three different colors? It is mentioned over here, Palas, then Rashtrakutas and Gurjara Pratiharas over here. See in this Gurjara Pratihara, they were also claiming it. Hmm? As you can see, Kanauj lies kind on the intersection of all three kingdoms, which are highlighted in different colors. So there was quite a lot of interest in that area. Kings like to show their wealth and power. You know that they took fancy titles for this. They also built huge and lavish palaces, means with full of amenities. In addition to this, they spent a lot of money on temples कारण त्यांना lavish style लाईफस्टाईल जगायची होती. तर त्यांची श्रीमंती ते कसे दाखवणार होते? तर मोठे मोठे पॅलेसेस बांधून. The lavishness and grandness of a temple was the mark of the wealth of a king. Look at this picture of this temple. Wasn't it very huge? Means it is constructed very beautifully, nicely. So this shows the power of king. This shows how wealthy the king is or king was. Okay. They would have idols made of expensive metals like gold and silver with real jewelry and even precious stones and metals used in the decoration of the temple. ज्या टेम्पलला अजून ग्रँड किंवा अजून भव्य कसं बनवलं जायचं तर त्या टेम्पलमध्ये ज्या मूर्ती असायच्या त्या मूर्ती मे बी आउट ऑफ प्रेशियस मेटल्स मे बी आउट ऑफ गोल्ड और मे बी आउट ऑफ सिल्वर आणि त्या मूर्तीला पण कसं डेकोरेट केलं जायचं तर प्रेशियस ज्वेलरी घालून त्यानंतर प्रेशियस स्टोन्स they were using that to decorate all idols or to decorate the temples and that way king can show his wealth, king can show his power. So when other rulers attacked, they made sure to attack the temples and carry away the wealth. म्हणून जेव्हा बाहेरून कोणी आपल्यावर अटॅक केला तेव्हा त्यांनी पहिल्यांदा काय गोष्ट केली तर आपल्या टेम्पल्सवर अटॅक केला and carry away the wealth. Which wealth the temple has? The wealth of idol, what the god is made out of, what the jewelry the god has been offered, what the stones, precious stones are used in that. So they carried away all these things. One such famous attacker was Sultan Muhammad of Ghazni. He came all the way from the Afghanistan and attacked northern India 17 times. Okay, it is shown in the map where he came from. Okay, he attacked rich temples in India and took away lots of money to spend in his kingdom. आता ह्या पिक्चरमध्ये बघा देवळांचा कसा नाश झालेला आहे किंवा त्यांनी देवळांची कशी तोडफोड केलेली आहे. आधीचा पिक्चर किती छान होता देवळाचं आणि आता ह्या पिक्चर मध्ये दिसतंय की नाही आपल्याला देऊळ तोडलेलं वगैरे. सो दिस इज ऑल व्हॉट द इन्वेडर्स दे डिड. They attacked our temples. They destroyed our temples. Now we have to switch on to the textbook again. From page number 20 till page number 21 we have to read. I will now share the textbook with you. You may have noticed that each of these ruling dynasties was based in a specific region. At the same time, they tried to control other areas. One particularly prized area was the city of Kanauj in the Ganga Valley. For centuries, rulers belonging to Gurjara Pratihara, Rashtrakuta and Pala dynasty fought for control over Kanauj. This was shown in the map we have seen just now in the PPT, the overlapping areas which are shaded in different colors. Because there were three parties in this long drawn conflict, historians often described it as a tripartite struggle. म्हणजे तीन पक्षांमध्ये किंवा तीन वेगळ्या वेगळ्या डायनेस्टीज मध्ये त्या एरियासाठी कॉन्फ्लिक्ट सुरू होता. त्या एरियासाठी डिस्प्यूट सुरू होता, स्ट्रगल सुरू होता. सो दॅट इज वाय इट इज कॉल्ड एज tripartite struggle. Means it is between the three dynasties. As we will see, rulers also tried to demonstrate their power and resources by building large temples. So, when they attacked one another's kingdoms, they often chose to target temples, which were sometimes extremely rich. You will read more about this in chapter 5. One of the best known of such rulers is Sultan Muhammad Ghazni, who is from Afghanistan. He ruled from 997 to 1030 and extended control over parts of Central Asia, Iran, and the northwestern part of subcontinent. He raided the subcontinent almost every year. His targets were wealthy temples, including that of Somnath in Gujarat. So, what was his main target? He targeted the temples always and carried out the wealth. Much of the wealth Muhammad carried away was used to create a splendid capital at Ghazni. So what he did, whatever money he carried away from by attacking the temples, that money, that stones, precious stones, that precious metals, he used to create. He used that all wealth to create a splendid capital at Ghazni. Means he built his own capital, and to build that capital, he used the money whatever he has taken from us. He was interested in finding out more about the people he conquered and entrusted a scholar named Al-Burani to write an account of the subcontinent. This Arabic work, known as the Kitab al-Hind, remains as an important source for historians. He consulted Sanskrit scholars to prepare this account. Other kings who engaged in warfare include the Chahamnas, later known as the Chauhans, who ruled over the region around Delhi in Ajmer. They attempted to expand their control to the west and the east, where they were opposed by the Chalukyas of Gujarat and Gahadwals in western Uttar Pradesh. The best known Chahamnas ruler was Prithviraj III, and he ruled from 1168 to 1192, who defeated an Afghan ruler named Sultan Muhammad Ghori in 1191 but lost to him the next year in 1192. This is all we have to learn. Now I am switching again to the worksheet. Okay, so From this content or from this lecture, the main thing you have to remember, what are the administrative strategies of that king, of that particular, what is Prashasti, why it were written, by whom it was written by, that all you have to remember. And the next part that you have to remember about the wealth, how king show that he is more powerful by building the temples. Why he built the temples? Okay, so this was the question, why he built the temples. Why those time kings were very interested in building the temples. So this is the main part that we have learned in today's lecture. Okay, now we will discuss the questions from this content from the worksheet. Okay.
If you like our videos, do share them and subscribe to our channel. If you want awesome quizzes, write to us. Keep watching and keep learning with Walnut.